guys, I'm Terry, and that's Nick, and we are going to break down the Winnipeg Jets and the Vegas Golden Knights in this series here. And the current odds: Vegas minus 170 favorites. Obviously, shop your lines because there are different books will have different lines for this series, but Vegas is definitely the favorite in all books. And Nick, you get the first question, which maybe a tough question for some people, but maybe not you. What do you think here? How can the Winnipeg Jets win this series?
Two words: Connor Hellebuck. There's three teams, maybe four, depending on who you ask, that are underdogs in their series that have goaltending advantages. With Vasilevsky, Sorokin being the first two, and Hellebuck, I think, being the third here. Hellebuck over Thompson, Quick, Hill, Brossois, whoever they choose to go with for the Vegas Golden Knights. The Winnipeg Jets will have the goaltending advantage in this game. And I do think that makes them worth a look in this one. We've seen Connor Hellebuck win a few playoff series before, and he is somebody that I feel like we can trust to play well in the postseason. So I do think that the goaltending alone makes the Winnipeg Jets very live in this series. I also like what I saw from the Winnipeg Jets. Pretty similar here. The last week of the season, the last week and a half of the season, do what you're doing then. When they rattled off wins against Detroit, New Jersey, Nashville, San Jose, Minnesota, and they played semi close to Colorado. They were tied with about 5 minutes left to go in that game with resting most of their players. So this is a Winnipeg Jets team that was playing better down the stretch. They're playing like their backs were up against the wall because, well, they were. And I like the sense of urgency that I saw from this Winnipeg Jets team down the stretch. And Connor Hellebuck is one of those goaltenders I really do trust. And I think they're a very live underdog. So pretty simple. Connor Hellebuck, play like a Vezina caliber goaltender, which we've seen before. He's won a Vezina trophy. He absolutely can. And this Vegas, and then we'll see what happens on the Vegas side here. So I think it's pretty simple. The answer is really simple. How can the Winnipeg Jets win? It's Connor Hellebuck.
Yes, and there's not really too much I can add to that. There's not really a different way Winnipeg can win. I guess if Quick plays really bad, and for some reason this ends up becoming a back and forth series, maybe the Jets somehow outscore Vegas, but I don't think that's the case. I think Vegas has the better offense. I think that's pretty clear. But I do think, Nick, you're right. Hellebuck, he could steal them a series. He could steal the series if you have a good enough goalie to steal a series. That's how underdogs can win. And the Jets definitely do have that in Hellebuck. He definitely can. He has shown in the past he can be an elite goalie.
Yeah, and one more thing, that they also need contributions from Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor, and Josh Morrissey. Those are three guys, and Pierre-Luc Dubois as well needs to have a good series as well. There's a couple guys that need to contribute.
Richie says Vegas, and he's not a Vegas.
I was a huge Vegas guy heading into the season.
Yeah, and that's something I was going to mention too. Is preseason you absolutely loved Vegas, but I think you liked Logan Thompson, and
I did.
And now Vegas has changed throughout the season. So, how can the Vegas Golden Knights win? And that's using their offense. Jack Eichel is playing the playoffs for the first time in his career. So, what kind of playoff player is he going to be? I think that's a big question. If he is a good playoff performer, and if the Vegas Golden Knights play like they did heading down the stretch as well. Yes, Winnipeg played well down the stretch, but I disagree with Nick. For me, I don't take much stock in that. A lot of teams are resting players. They had to win, and they were able to. But now they're here in the playoffs, and I think they're going to run out of steam. I think this Vegas team is just too good. And that leads us right to, well, I shouldn't skip you. How can the Vegas Golden Knights win this series, Nick?
They need Laurent Brossois or whoever's in net to step up, because this is a team that plays well in front of their goaltender. They need to have a lot of offensive zone time in order to keep the pressure off their goaltenders. If I'm Vegas, I would hope that Thompson's back, but if not, then I mean, this is a team that they were really good this year. This was a team that I was really high on heading into the season, and for me, it's just the line opened up weird for me. That's why I'm kind of leaning the other way. But uh, I see. I mean, this is offensive. They need Mark Stone back, but they do have the overall better team. They have the better blue line, Petrangelo, and Martinez. This is a good Vegas team. There's a reason why this team won the Pacific Division. With that being said, offense, they're going to have to find a way to get the puck past Hellebuyck. And I think that's the ultimate key at the end of it is they're going to have to score goals in order to win this series. I don't think they can rest on playing defensive hockey here because if they try to do that, the massive goaltending advantage is on the other side. And I think that can come back to bite them. But so they're going to have to play a little bit more of a running gun hockey. They're going to have to play more offensive. And they're going to have to hope for maybe higher scoring games because if it's a bunch of 2-1 games, I think Winnipeg wins this series in 6. Like that's the type of series where if they're planning on we're going to play close, defensive, strong checking games, that's not your style of hockey. You need to play more, or that's not the style that you'd win the series with. You need to play more offensive hockey. So score more goals, get contributions. You need Riley Smith and Jack Eichel especially to step up in this series. So get your top echelon talent to put the puck in the back of the net, and that's how you'll be able to win the series.
All right. And what are your predictions? What do you think happens?
Winnipeg. I'm going to take the shot with the underdog here in this one here. Winnipeg in 6 or 7. I think that this is a spot where the goaltending advantage is going to loom large in this series with Hellebuyck. And I'm not saying Winnipeg makes it past the next round unless if I thought Winnipeg makes a run, you can look at Bucky to win like Conn Smythe. You can get a huge number on that as well. Because if the Winnipeg Jets were to make a run, he would be the obvious reason why. But yeah, I took a small shot here, plus 130. Winnipeg Jets. I think that this line opened up kind of interesting for them being a team that just snuck into the playoffs and an 8 seed against Vegas. And Vegas has the home ice advantage, and they only opened up at $1.45, $1.50. Kind of raised my eyebrows, like, maybe the books don't think that Vegas is as good as they are. Maybe the books are sleeping on Vegas. I don't know what the cases for that one is, but I think that the goaltending advantage may loom large here with Bucky. So that's kind of where I'm going to go with this one here. This is one of the 3, maybe 4, if you want to argue Gus over Ottinger, where the underdog has the better goalie. But for me, this is just, I'm going to back the better goaltender, which I think in a 7-game series will loom large.
All right. And hey, last year, me and Nick disagreed on pretty much every series, I think. I don't think there's very many series we agreed on. This year, we're finding the opposite, but finally, we've made it to our disagreement game, our disagreement series. I think, trust me, I've seen a lot of the Wild play quite a few games against Vegas to end this year, and this team is trouble. This team is trouble. I think Vegas has a very good playoffs this year. I'm not sure how far they go. Like I said in other previous videos that we've done, I go series by series, series by series, and I think Vegas wins this series in 6 games, maybe even 5. If Hellebuyck doesn't stand on his head, I think this series is not that close. So we'll disagree.
Yeah, and I do think if Winnipeg makes it past this round, I don't see, or if Vegas makes it, whoever makes it past this first round, I don't see getting past the next round, whether they play LA or who I think Edmonton. Spoiler, I don't think they make it past that round.
All right, Richie thinks 5 as well, but to find out the next series that whoever wins this series would play, they'll either face LA or Edmonton. And we will be going over the final series here in a few minutes. So we will see you guys shortly.